welcome everyone, and we want to thank you for joining us tonight for our virtual annual meeting. My name is W. Robert Schultz III. I am a campaign organizer for Active Transportation Alliance, and I'm your MC for tonight. We planned a lot for this evening, but before we get started, I just want to go over a couple housekeeping items. First, for the best viewing tonight, we suggest putting your screen in the speaker view. There's a little box in the upper right-hand corner of your Zoom screen where you can change your view setting. Please make sure it says speaker view, and just a reminder, we are recording tonight's meeting. Second, as you may have already noticed, everyone is currently muted for the presentation portion of the event. When we go into the breakout rooms later in the evening, you will be unmuted for the small group discussions. Finally, stick around because we have 6 raffle prizes that we're giving away at the end of the night, randomly selected registered participants. Prizes include gift certificates to Eric's Bike Shop, men and women's kits from Primalware, and Revolution Brewing gift packs. All right, that's all of our housekeeping items. Let's move on to the fun stuff. Active Transportation Alliance advocates for walking, biking, and public transportation to create healthy, sustainable, and equitable communities. For over 35 years, we've been working toward a vision of a Chicagoland that is home to a multitude of transportation options that enable all residents to easily and safely reach any destination. You know, this work, however, is not possible without the dedicated efforts of many, many members and supporters who share this vision and help us move it forward. Every year, our annual meeting is an opportunity to thank and to celebrate the people who are the lifeblood of Active Trans, our members and volunteers. So tonight, we like to begin the evening with our volunteer awards, where we recognize some of the individuals who have made a tremendous impact, whether through dedicated volunteer service at our events or advocating for change in their communities. Tonight, we have 4 individuals we like to recognize. And our first individual we're recognizing tonight is Kevin Crowley, Volunteer of the Year. Kevin serves on the Active Trans Events Committee, and since 2005, when he was a teenager, he's been volunteering in key positions for Active Trans' biggest events, including serving as a central communications dispatcher during the 5th Third Bike the Drive. Whoa, you know, that's 16 years of volunteering. And in the words of the communication dispatcher who works with him, Jason Jenkins, his cool head under pressure, low-key presence, and wry wit make any situation easier. Kevin is the Bike the Drive's ultimate wingman.
Hello, Active Trans. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Just wanted to give everybody a quick thank you for making me Volunteer of the Year, nominating me and making me that. It's super awesome. I work with a ton of awesome volunteers at Active Trans, so it definitely means a lot that you know, it's chosen to have this award this year, because I know there's a ton of awesome competition. Yeah. Super pumped, just to kind of show you how long I've been around. Last time Active Trans gave me an award, and I still have it, is 2005 Emerging Leader Award. So I think that was my first or second year at Active Trans about 16 years ago, you know, so I'm looking forward to another 16 years, getting another award in 2037. Yeah, thanks again, guys. Totally awesome being part of this organization for so long and seeing everything we've done together and how the the organization's grown. So again, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys, and looking forward to more years and seeing what we're all going to do together. Again, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Kevin. Rochelle Jackson is our next honoree. She's the Advocate of the Year. Rochelle Jackson was born and raised in North Lawndale, and in recent years has been actively working to improve walkability and bus service in North Lawndale while serving as the co-chair of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee of the North Lawndale Community Coordinating Council. Rochelle helped organize walkability assessment through North Lawndale, as well as working in coalition to advocate for and win reinstatement of the Crucial number 157 Ogden Avenue bus route via a pilot program which Rochelle sees as central to the revitalization of North Lawndale's economy and quality of life after decades of disinvestment. All of these accomplishments have been volunteer efforts on top of an already impactful professional career working as an administrative and research specialist for the Juvenile Protection Association, JPA, for 31 years. We thank Rochelle for her tireless commitment to her community and her partnership in our advocacy work.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Jackson. I am the chair of the North Lawndale Community Coordinating Council of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. I am a lifelong resident of North Lawndale, and I'd like to take a few minutes just to thank the Active Transportation Alliance for this Neighborhood Community Activist Award. Thank you so much to my team, the Transportation Committee that worked with me. We have been working for several years diligently to bring back the extension of the 157 Streeterville bus route to the west end of North Lawndale. We've also been working with the City of Chicago to install divvy bike locations around our community. We are so excited and we look forward to the future. North Lawndale is activating every corner of the community that we possibly can, and it's going to take time, but we're working and we're moving, and we are so grateful to be able to accept this award on behalf of NLCCC and our Transportation Infrastructure Committee. Thank you so much for this honor.
Well, congratulations, Rochelle. And our next honoree is Matthew Portman, Advocate of the Year, after his cousin Kevin Clark was tragically killed while biking at the dangerous Logan Western intersection in Chicago. Matt Portman, working closely with Active Trans and other advocates, played a key role in motivating the city to improve the intersection for people walking and biking. Under the banner of a new grassroots organization he launched, Kevin's Coda, Matt organized a rally, spoke with media, and directly engaged decision makers. His leadership and energy were instrumental in bringing much needed improvements to the Western Logan intersection and helped add energy to the fight to create a citywide network of low stress bike lanes.
Thank you so much to the Active Transportation Alliance for this incredible and extremely touching distinction. For those who don't know, in May of this year, my cousin Kevin Clark was killed in a cycling accident. And in the hours that followed, there was a lot of attention put on his passing, and right away the entire family knew that we had to do something. It was our responsibility to make something positive come out of this and to move for some kind of change that could limit an accident like that from happening again. And so right away, we turned to the Active Transportation Alliance, and they were there for us every step of the way. Their support, their organizing power, their empathy was just completely incredible. And along the way, they helped us to connect with aldermen. Thank you, Alderman Wagispak and Alderman Laspada, State Representative Will Guzzardi, countless others who came out and showed their support and helped to turn our organizing power into actual, tangible, real results. So thank you so much to the legions of family, friends, loved ones, fans who have turned Kevin's Coda into what it is. Thank you to everyone who has supported us. Thank you especially to the Freeman Kevinitis law firm for your support and guidance through all of this. And thank you especially to the Active Transportation Alliance. You are truly the guardian angels watching out for all Chicagoans. Please keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the energy, keep up the activism. We're here to support you. And to anyone out there in this incredible Chicago cycling community, if you need support, whether it's because of tragedy or because of something positive, know that the Kevin's Coda people, as I like to call us, the Kevin Nation Army, will be behind you. So don't hesitate to reach out, and we will do everything we can to support anyone else in this incredible community the way that we were supported in our time of need. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, thank you. And our next award goes to Christopher Valadez, Advocate of the Year. Our Advocate of the Year, Chris Valadez, is a resident of the village of Brookfield in the southwest suburbs and a co-founder of the not-for-profit Cycle Brookfield. Chris has been a central figure in organizing the group's family-friendly bike rides and working closely with village staff on safety improvements in the community. He is an avid cyclist and a dedicated advocate who brings enthusiasm and positivity to every event and gathering he attends. Whether it's a community bike ride or one of our regular suburban advocacy meetings, Chris will be there with creative ideas to share and will be ready to cheer you on. Congratulations, Chris.
Hello, Chris Valadez here from Brookfield. When I received the news that I was selected as Active Transportation's Advocate of the Year, I have to admit I thought Maggie got it wrong. I read the message a second time and honestly I was speechless. Kind of a rarity for me. Advocate, what does that mean? Some years ago, a bunch of us got together to form Cycle Brookfield. For me, I wanted to make sure that the roads were safer for my kids to ride their bikes to school. The Cycle Brookfield team has continued to be a driving force for all of us to meet that mission here in Brookfield. If wanting better access to transportation and safer roads makes me an advocate, then yes, I'm an advocate for safe cycling. I want to thank the Active Transportation Alliance for always being a resource for me and for the community that I serve. They are truly a dedicated group ready to answer questions and point me in the right direction. I also want to thank the wonderful folks at Cycle Brookfield. They're a pleasure to work with and truly a passionate group ready to make a mission for safer cycling around town. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the celebration tonight.
Thank you. Let's hear it for all of our volunteer awardees tonight. There's emojis, or you can clap, or put your comment down in the break, but the emojis are really great. It's just really wonderful to see this great energy.
It's now my pleasure to introduce our Executive Director, Amy Reinell. She will give you an exciting update on our work. Our work is always exciting, and a preview of the year ahead. Amy, over to you.
Thanks so much, Peggy. And welcome to the board, Jackie. We're excited to have you. And thanks to all our committed board members and our stellar staff who are embracing and advancing our mission day in and day out. The growth and improvement in active transportation options in our region would not be what they are today without your leadership or the leadership of the advocates and volunteers like Kevin and Rochelle and Matthew and Christopher and all the folks who work alongside them, side by side in their communities. You are movement builders, doers, and leaders. So please accept my gratitude and deep appreciation for your inspiring and impactful work and our partnership together. 2021, what a year. Let's talk victories. First, more money for active transportation. We continue to grow the amount of funds dedicated to or available for walking, biking, and transit by leaps and bounds. The state must now pay 100% of the cost of walking and biking infrastructure on state roads, just like they've always done for cars and trucks. It's a game changer, especially for low-income communities who can't afford these improvements otherwise. In addition, Chicago region counties can now use gas taxes for bicycle and pedestrian improvements. And Illinois will be receiving, about $18 billion from the new federal infrastructure package. And we could get a crack at billions more for more transportation infrastructure, public transit, and other projects. In addition to money, we seized every opportunity to push our transit agencies to increase affordability and accessibility, changes that are key to making public transit equitable and to increasing ridership. CTA and Metra instituted discounted fares after years of pushing, and CTA finally dispensed with the antiquated transfer fee that penalized riders who had to go farther and ride multiple routes to get where they needed to go. And there's funding to finally make our region's train stations wheelchair accessible. And third, on top of those two buckets of victories, we called for cycling infrastructure improvements to be bolder, safer, and done faster. The growth in cycling, coupled with the rise in speeding we're seeing on our streets, makes this all the more urgent. Chicago did announce its largest investment ever in biking improvements, 100 miles of new and upgraded bike lanes. And while this is an important step, it needs to be bolder, it needs to be safer. These need to be protected bike lanes that fill gaps in our network. But taken together, this funding and transit and cycling progress is really substantial and is the result of our relentless collective advocacy. Keep responding to those action alerts. It really makes a difference. You can see it. Mobility in our region is increasingly equitable and sustainable as a result. And these victories are all the more impressive when you consider the forces pushing to maintain the status quo, fighting tooth and nail so that vehicle travel and space for cars is prioritized far above clean transportation and space for people. That's why we collectively can't and won't let up. We don't want the progress we've made to erode. We need to seize this moment, and there's so much more to do. And we must do so equitably. There are many communities throughout the Chicago region that don't have reliable access to safe, healthy transportation options today. And these underlying racial and economic disparities in our transportation investments continue to be intensified by the pandemic. We're making progress, but far too little and far too slow. We know, each of us, how vital active transportation forms are at our personal level, accessing our jobs, healthcare, recreation. We also know at the community level how powerful it is as we seek to recover and emerge from this pandemic stronger. So to that end, we have 4 fights that we're focused on in the year ahead. First, safe streets for all ages and abilities. That will include things like the citywide network of protected bike lanes we've discussed, a safe and connected regional trails network, slower speeds, complete streets. Secondly, priority spending on active modes. We need to make sure that this new federal, state, and local transportation funding really counts. Third, reliable and accessible public transportation. That system needs financial stability so we can build the network of dedicated bus lanes that will transform it, maintain affordable fares, and make those stations accessible. And fourth, combating climate change. We need our state and region to set ambitious goals to lower emissions from transportation and make the consequent changes and investments needed to get us there. In a few minutes, we're gonna break out and send you all off into breakout rooms for discussion. And our conversation tonight is focused on the role that the transportation sector must play in combating climate change. Transportation's a key contributor and a key solution. Transportation sector is now the single greatest source of greenhouse gas emissions in the US. Personal vehicles are the top contributor. And it's been getting worse, not better. And worse than any other sector. Finally, we know that the effects of poor air quality are massive, but unevenly distributed. In our region, the South and Southwest communities, disproportionately Black and Latinx, bear the brunt of our transportation emissions. In talking with my child recently, who's a budding environmental advocate, and I think his generation, this is their issue, I got to thinking about the moral of the story, the three little pigs, and how analogous it is to informing our transportation response to climate change. Bear with me. You know, the three little pigs are sent off to make their way in the world. Each builds a house. The first little pig uses straw. The second uses sticks. And they chose those because they were expedient. They were quick and easy to build, and they could spend time relaxing and having fun. But the third pig thought about the world around and in front of him and put effort into building a big, sturdy house out of bricks to stand the test of time. And we see the wolf destroy those first two houses, but the house of brick is strong enough to withstand his attempts. So if we consider the wolf to be climate change and the house material choices representative of our transportation policy decisions and investments in front of us, which approach and which building blocks is our region going to take? The path of least resistance, straws and sticks, so to speak, doing what we know how to do and have been doing for the past 50 years or so, maybe with some bells and whistles, but still continuing to incentivize and build for vehicular travel, regardless of the consequences. Roads, parking, sprawl, low density development, roads, parking, sprawl. This way would continue to cause the environmental harm, and especially so in communities of color, disproportionately impacted by that poor air quality, spatial mismatch, and highway divisions. Our conversation tonight is about a third way, the bricks. If we're serious about slashing carbon emissions, we must go big with transportation. Chicago's history and development has been guided by bold plans related to transportation and mobility, connecting Lake Michigan to the Illinois River with a canal, making Chicago the nation's railway hub, creating one of the most comprehensive transit systems in the nation, connecting us to the world through O'Hare. We can do this. Climate change presents an urgent opportunity for Chicago and us to do what we've always done best, reinvent our transportation infrastructure, but this time with a greener and more equitable future. In just a minute, we will automatically transfer you to breakout rooms. Keep an eye out for the join button. You'll find the questions pasted in the chat when you get there. So it can take a minute. Your patience is appreciated as we get everyone transferred over. And then after the breakouts, for the last couple minutes of the event, We're going to bring everybody back here to announce our raffle winners, so you don't want to miss that, and to say thank you and good night. So look forward to seeing you in the breakout room. And if I'm not in a room with you, I just want to thank you again for being such valued partners in this movement. We can't do it without you.
And from all of us here at Active Transportation Alliance, thank you for being with us tonight, and for your year-round support of the movement. We miss seeing all of you in person. So as we sign off tonight, if you want to switch back to the gallery view so we can all see one another, we're going to unmute everybody. We'll have a chance to meet in the future, certainly, but we're unmuting everybody right now so you can have a chance to wave and say good night to everyone. It's been a real pleasure. Have a good evening, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Hi, Robert.
Great job.
Bye.
Thanks,
Good night.
Bye.
Congratulations to everybody.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Go Amtrak. Go bikes.
Go
Oh, someone on the trainer.
Andrew.
All right.